Yogendra Prasad, his photo is there. I'm his biographer, and I don't think that there was a more taller figure in Hyderabad in the history of India that we can actually respect and see. And I'm very happy that we have our dear friend Abhay Kumar Singh ji here, who for me is like the again seeing Prasad type of work. I would say, of course, that's a level. In fact, ये तालियां इतनी जोर से बजनी चाहिए, भले हम एक रूम में बैठे तो किसका थोड़ा जोर से बजेगी. So, एक छोटी सी बात before I call everybody. Today is also 1st of August, and this is the day of my father's birthday. In fact, crazy. What happened? I was trying to do it on 31st year. So, Abhay Kumar Singh ji had to go to his guru, and it was such a situation. मैंने उनके लिए मैंने कहा कुछ ना कुछ करूँगा एक बार. तो मैंने एक दिन this day normally I sit behind and relax, don't do anything. I'm not a very पूजा वाला आदमी नहीं हूँ ज़्यादा. ठीक है, मन से करता हूँ. कर्मयोगी है जैसे वो है सिंह साहब, तो कुछ करता नहीं हूँ, लेकिन क्या कर सकते हैं. वो ऐसा हो गया कि इनके कारण this day is got dedicated to my father also. And what is the history of that? Now the history, right? It is linked to Hyderabad. See that? See, licenses were given to two companies early days from the British era and continued. The one license went to CSC Kolkata, the first license. The second was Tata. And what do they sell? बिजली कहाँ से बेचे? बिजली तो है नहीं. तो कोयना की पहली, that was 320 megawatt stuff which went to 960 megawatt. That was the first, that 62 to 70, that was the period that this capacity came into picture, the entire thing, slowly, steadily. So that was the first hydropower, and you know what a scheme it was. It faced an earthquake and everything, but it still survived, right? And it still is the lifeline of Maharashtra, let me tell you. It is the existing power scheme in the country. In 1960 megawatt with multi-purpose water utility. Now we have the Krishna Koina. I was involved in that with the Maharashtra Jeevan Pradhikaran, which was the MWSLP earlier. So that also what happened, it became the biggest scheme, 9,000 crores, sending water through the tunnel. We actually pump the water back from the Koina river into the Krishna when it goes dry. And then the water is sent to literally through a tunnel, Paratkar Saath is here, the Karad tunnel, tunnel is the water tunnel, through that it goes, and you see the richness of Satara Sangli, all the sugar belt, is because of this particular scheme. It was done during the era of, he pushed that project, in a big way. Of course, I worked when I was in Jyoti that time. So some history there, and my father brought the first electricity to Mumbai, single-handedly as a foreman, and it was crazy scene because he was not happy with this. He was from Royal Institute of Technology. My grandfather, what he said, he pushed him to Gemini Ganeshan. He was making films now. This S.S. Wasan's film studio was there. So Gemini broke away and made his own Gemini studio on Mount Road. My grand accountant. So he wanted his son to work in the same area. ये तो उन्होंने push कर दिया. So my father was a rebel. उन्होंने कहा so I don't like this environment because Gemini was a colorful man. So my father was not.
Nice word.
My father was not happy with that. Right? He said so. He didn't inform his own father. He took a train, and that time the only thing, no foreign country, only place was land in Mumbai with an engineering degree. So he landed, and he landed the job in MSCB, and that was for electrification of the Koina through Mahad, Chiplun, Roha, the entire transmission corridor. That time the first largest 400 towers single-handedly he did for that. Of course, later on because of corruption, he literally left the job and he went to Western Crompton, electrified Rangoon, and later on came to Churu in Rajasthan to electrify that area. So it's a big story. So it was hydropower that my father first did. He was so frustrated with corruption that he left and joined the Talwar family in Faridabad in packaging. Completely diametrically opposite. His entire life later on was packaging. So maybe some godly genetic code that actually made me come into probably this sector. Again, to do some unfinished agenda. So hydropower it was, Koina it was, right? And from there, my family history. Of course, my grandfather, my Nanaji, was also very close friend of today L&T people. If anybody is there, I think KK is there. So my grandpa was actually the right-hand man for Hawk Larsen, the founder of Larsen Tubro. And he left him in 1953 because he was paying salary without taking work from him. तो वो बोले अब advice खत्म, मैं तुम्हें छोड़ रहा हूँ because तुम कुछ कर ही नहीं रहे यार. Only one, क्योंकि he came from Vijay and the British era. उनको क्या किया, Britishers ने ensure किया कि वो topper थे, उनको नहीं देना है, तो they put him in the second class. और bronze medal भी दे दिया, और वो medal भी चोरी करके उन्होंने शिवाजी पार्क के समुद्र में फेंक दिया गया. ये सब हुआ मेरे grandpa के साथ, which was called the Victoria Jubilee Technical Institute. Now it is called the Veer Jijamata. We will change the name. आजकल क्या name change तो चलता रहता है. लेकिन it was that institute from where my grandfather did it. It was the A-grade institute. On the night of 15th August 1947, Pandit Nehru was giving the speech on freedom at midnight, the famous Tryst with Destiny speech. My grandpa was convincing Hawk Larsen and his colleague Tubro not to fly away to Mauritius. So that's a little history. So L&T, your construction company is here. अटल सुब्रमण्यम को एक दिन बोलना पड़ेगा, तुमको मालूम है तुम्हारी कंपनी मेरे ग्रैंडपा के कारण तुम्हारी देन है, पैसा तुम लोग बना रहे हो. हाँ लेकिन हाँ पैसा बना रहा है, लेकिन it was my grandpa. So anyway, it's wonderful. Pratkar Saab is having a smile. We have a lot of talk like that, both with Abhay ji and Pratkar Saab. Our personal talks also with Rajdhan ji. So let me call first Anil Rajdhan Saab to please come and be on the dais. He's our chair for the day. Please give a big hand. Former Secretary for Petroleum, as well as Joint Secretary for the Atomic Energy Commission. So he has everything in his hand, and a man who loved hydro all the while, throughout. So, sir, thanks for your time. Always a pleasure to have you. Next, I would like to call Abhay Kumar Singh ji, my dear friend, who is absolutely, as I told you, for our day. We are not missing Prasad. Now, at least I know now. His work will be carried out like a patent race. So he's still, although he's retired from NHPC, but he's so dynamic. Half of the policy construction still moving because of his push many times. Then I would like to call my dear friend S.G. Pratkar Saab. Pratkar Saab is not a dear friend personally, but a man who has stood for hydro. And construction industry knows him very well on many big projects in India. So please give him. He is the director underground works and also hydropower and water sources for AFCON. Shapur ji बहुत अच्छी काम है. भाई तालियां अच्छी बजाओ यार, ये एनर्जी वाला, ये ग्रुप लगना चाहिए एनर्जी वाला. Then I would like to call my another dear friend N. Murugeshan. Murugeshan was the former Director General of the Central Power Research Institute. What? You know, this man doesn't speak much of Hindi, but इनको 5 राष्ट्रभाषा अवार्ड मिला है. And from president. How many presidents are 2 or 3? No, so Pravda and others. Come. Murugeshan Saab is a great darling, and he built these smart grid standards for India. Whatever smart grid standards have been developed is thanks to this gentleman. Then I would have the man who has actually ensured that this pump storage comes from the government side at the CEA, Central Electricity Authority. It's MAKP Singh, our dear friend. So pump storage actually was pushed by Singh Saab in a big way, of course with support from Bencham Prasad as chairman. So elected to both of them for having pushed this agenda, which was always an Inertia Foundation agenda from the beginning. So these were the guys who actually enabled at the central level this policy construct. Although we don't have our friends from Andhra, I would really congratulate the state of Andhra for taking this as a challenge. And NetCap officers from 2020, it was first for Dr. Ramana Reddy, and now we have Kamalagar Babu. Both of them have been standing with it, and today the beauty is only state which has about 25 to 30 gigawatt roughly, which are all DPR. Am I right, sir?
Yes.
DPR and under execution. Maharashtra is coming in with 120 gigawatts, so just 2 states, 50 gigawatt they would execute out of the 100 gigawatt target that we set in 2024 through a white paper. It's been adopted now this year by the CA for a target of 20, 30, 35, 36. We wanted 32, but because of the challenges that are there. And I have another great friend of mine, Saroj Mishra, who is here, who actually enabled me to go to Canada in the year 2009. That time we interacted a lot, and he has been a dear friend for a long time, a former trade commissioner of the Indo-Canadian or Canadian Embassy and helping the Indo-Canadian cause. Canada is a hydropower country. Quebec is a state which completely is powered with hydro. It does not have any other capacity index in it. It's all hydropower. And Quebec is a French-speaking state of, this, what do you call it? Canada. Canada is one of the most powerful states. In fact, it also supplies power to US as well. That's what is known. And they are very influential. In fact, if they stall the power, I can tell you both US and Canada will be in trouble. US first and Canada later, probably. And then another dear friend, not the least, is our Subhash Chandra Ji. Subhash Chandra Ji was the former Joint Secretary, Ministry of Mines, when I first came to know him. I will credit him for helping us in developing the critical mineral policy. And he was also in the Ministry of Environment and Forest in Goa, and that was his last stint as a DG. and he has enabled environmental issues in a big way. So we have the right panel here. In fact, who can, of course, there are many other. We have KK Gupta, we have DP Goyal, but I think we wanted if all of us sit, then nobody will be down, right?
Right.
So so we have to have a discussion. So pardon me, sir, if I could not, because even I'm not going to sit, I'm going to moderate. But you're all there in the discussion. We'll have a closest discussion. We have students from New Delhi Institute of Management. Can you raise the hands? Because I've been mentoring the people over there. Please give a big hand to them. They have come to a forum. They are management students. They are into PG and the MBA program. But there is a REPA NDM Center of Excellence in Renewable Energy established in the New Delhi Institute of Management. And I have actually trained 150 students already in the area of renewable energy. Unfortunately, what happens, everybody goes towards AI or other things, but this is a tough area. So I can understand their problems, but even if a few people come and we can continue to train them, I'll be more than happy to do that and certify them. Because while you get your MBA, any additional certificate opens your gates to the new industry. And I can tell you that on the 6th of August, the first pivotal strategy center has been opened at your place. Mark Oliver Opresnik is a dear friend of mine. In fact, on 6th of August, I'm doing an online program with him to establish AI across the industry spectrum. It's a free seminar on the 6th of August. A lot of these industry people will join. So you want to join? So I also take my own initiative through the other foundation, Marketing Foundation. So AI is also of interest because my final year thesis belongs to AI and robotics at NIT Kurukshetra. And the second one was non-conventional machining processes. These two things I have not left. I keep looking at these areas every now and then, because manufacturing we are required to. We have, I think, Andritz, any person representing Andritz here right now? Okay, he's come. So if you see any pump storage orders at this juncture, it's all going to Andritz. So BHL people told me, "Arsab, हमको भी order दिला दो." मैंने कहा वो तो मिल जाएगा, लेकिन आपको कम से कम. Then they had a problem because their turbine is separate in the RPTG and their the generator is separate. But and the tender conditions clearly say they want an integrated setup, right? That's fine. But I'm saying if they go before they develop the R&D thing, if they make a point of economics in this, which is what they are lacking. If they make a point, how does it matter if I put them separately and I make an economic of scale? Unfortunately, BHL has not taken my cue. They are not coming to the forum. So अब कैसे मदद की जाए? तो ये भी एक बहुत बड़ी बात है. ये कंपनियों के पास इतना ऑर्डर है, 2 लाख करोड़ का बैकलॉग है, एक्सिक्यूट कैसे करेगा? 2 लाख करोड़, साल का 30,000 करोड़ भी आप एक्सिक्यूट नहीं कर रहे हैं, आपकी टर्नओवर से दिख रहा है. तो ये कहाँ जाएगी? और सारे ऑर्डर उधर जा रहे हैं. तो ये अभी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में भी there is a kind of a situation where only few options are left. Voith has not got a single order in India, abhi, pump storage mein. And there is one big company, I tried to push them into the off-river because they have a design from 5 to 50 megawatt. In fact, we had it in Jyoti. I started my career with Jyoti Baroda. So I had got RPTGs up to 50 megawatt. So that company unfortunately went fat. We brought it out of the BFR. I was the young Turk who did it. With 2 big orders at Reliance Azera. They were blacklisted. I brought them out. Nanubhai was crying. I remember the founder, he was crying. Uske aankhon mein aansu aa gaye the. The first mentor in a way. He established EDA. The first electrical design agency in Baroda. So he was a doyen, forgotten doyen of India. उसकी किताब साराभाई की इक्विवेलेंट किताब बंदा है. वो भी एलेम्बिक में जो क्लैकोडिन बनाता था, इसको मेक द कफ सिरप, उसके पंप्स को रिपेयर करने गए वो. उधर वो चेक रिपब्लिक के पंप्स निकले. उन्होंने अपने कजिन को बोला कि भाई ये पंप मैं तेरे को रिपेयर करके देता हूँ, तुम बाहर से क्यों मंगा रहे हो? So he did it, and after repairing he opened them and reverse engineered, and he made the water pumps. What is dealer distributor Vilas Kumar Shah to import, because otherwise they will not allow to import. कॉपी शॉपी मार लो, ठीक है. उन्होंने खोला करी जो आज चाइनीज कर रहे हैं ना, वो नानू भाई ने उस जमाने में करी. And I'll tell you, such a great doyen. Bombay Club, रतन टाटा used to beg हमें आने दो. नेल्सन बैंक के साथ रेस्टोरेंट में मीटिंग्स होती थी, सारे इंडस्ट्री आते थे. नानू भाई was the king leader of that, ring leader of that. And if he wanted, then only he could come. Lucy Modi was very dear to him. And later on, my other boss in the power sector, Gopal Vazirani, who died also, he was the head of WMI Cranes, which went to Kone now. And we built the MA in India, the joint venture. So I brought the joint venture. WMI Power was converted to MA in India. So he was very close to Lucy Modi. And I have interacted so much with Lucy Modi. I got all his blessings. He was a great guy. Another forgotten doyen. If Lucy was not there, Tata would not be what it is today. So these were the people we probably, if we have to tell the stories, असली स्टोरी तो ये वाली है. 100 साल इंडस्ट्रियल एरा की स्टोरी सुनाइए, 5000 साल की स्टोरी सुना के क्या फायदा. We must talk about what happened in the industrial era. We are also talking about climate action. What is our climate action? We want to put the 1.5 degree delta rise. It should be from the pre-industrial era, the temperature rise should be 1.5 delta. What has happened? With all these COPs, become a big charade. We are 4 degree up at this juncture when we are in this room. We are always 4 degree up from that. So, whatever target of 2050 की बात कर रहे हैं, so it will be even worse. That's my prediction. So if we don't go properly with this, and one of the reasons India should wake up is any amount of renewable you do, your grid needs a balance, right? And it needs peak shaving, and that peak shaving is expanding. And now the big thing will be you are pumping in the electric vehicle. I don't like it actually because you are drawing the grid power at night, and whatever drawing you are doing, you are drawing the thermal power. आपकी लोड उस पे जा रही है. Second जो चीज देखो कि रात को सूरज होता नहीं, there's no sun at night. Second thing that's happening in this is that we are now, I'm not getting into the ethanol business today, but I'm just telling you what's going to happen to hydro. All these data centers are coming in big way. In fact, I did a research and last month I found out maximum data centers are coming in Mumbai. Without knowledge, it's not Bangalore, and itna hai ki it's almost 2 or 3 times more than the other cities. And what's happening? We are actually using the published water. We are drawing the clean water. ठीक है, अब वो हाइड्रोजन आएगा, आप ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन बात कर रहे हैं. What is green hydrogen? So why we want these colors? These foreigners are talking about any hydrogen I make from CH4 chain. According to me, is the best chain to sequestrate. That is, to capture the carbon. You use your even coal. You be agnostic and you produce as much as hydrogen at low cost for you. Because tomorrow, another 10 years, you will not be allowed to take out your coal with the high ash content and all those things. So you better go there to coal bed methane and coal gasification, convert that into hydrogen. And hydrogen should be like a pool, like it should be like the pooling of power, like that agnostic pooling of hydrogen has to happen. Then only this country will go forward. So using the green hydrogen word is a misnomer. There's nothing green about this hydrogen. Because you are going to be water stressed. I am living in Dombivli in Thane district. Last 10 years, I have not got water beyond 25 minutes a day. This is the hard reality. And I am paying 17 rupees 53 paisa once I cross the 500 units. That's the highest tariff in the country I am paying. It's not that we are the only city, all the rich cities are being charged like that. Hyderabad is going through the same thing now. My friend, who's from NFTDC, he told me my bill is also 17 rupees now. 60 to 71. What are you doing? Domestic tariff. Bhai, Attak se Kattak, Kashmir se Kanyakumari, one grid, one nation, तो पहले आप domestic tariff एक करिए. So you can't rob Peter to pay Paul. We are doing that. And none of us are bothered. We are all getting money, ठीक है, आ रहा है, चलो बिल आ रही दे रहे. भाई क्या है? How can the electricity companies take us to the cleaners? You're paying highest for fuel, so these are also issues. So hydro will actually change the game because it's a long-term asset. We are talking about hydro as a cost. It's not a cost center because you are not calculating the extra benefits you are getting. You are loading it on the electric tariff anyway. ठीक है? फिर आप उसको power बोलते हैं, power cost भी है इसकी. दूसरी, how can you compare Alfonso mango with a local apple? Hydropower is a 75-100 years old asset. बाकरा तो वही है, शीशा वही है. सारे बांध वही है, तो आप इसको क्या ट्रीटमेंट दे रहे हैं? आपकी क्या कैलकुलेशन है? कौन सा ये सारे फाइनेंशियल मैनेजर जिधर भी बैठे हैं, इन सबको मेरे को लगता है अपनी डिग्री फेंक देनी चाहिए. क्योंकि आपकी एनपीवी नेट प्रेजेंट वैल्यू, बिकॉज़ आई लर्नड ऑल दिस थिंग्स एज एन इंजीनियर. I went, if you do the NPV for a plant which has got a long shelf life, then you go to the banker and tell him what the hell you're doing. You're giving me a lending proposition here like any other power plant. Why? And अगर free power चाहिए वो भी आप हाइड्रो से ही ले लेंगे. हैं? कोई सोलर से फ्री बिजली मांग रहा है? Why you want to load everything on the hydro? Somewhere we have to fight this policy, anomaly, which is very dangerous for the country, and it has brought down our hydropower share to 10%. Not just the environmental issue. Every time we come, Goel Saab, we all talk about it. It's not only environment, it's our skewed model. Every time it's not attractive to a politician. 5 years, he will come for power. 3 साल में भी आजकल गायब हो जाते हैं. तो वो क्यों उसको पकड़ेंगे? वो 2 साल वाले प्लांट के पीछे जाते हैं. जो 2-3 साल में लग जाए तो 16 लो हैंगिंग फ्रूट. तो जो लॉन्ग टर्म करना है, कई प्रोजेक्ट 10 साल में बन रहे हैं, कई 17 साल में बन रहे हैं. इंदिरा सागर जैसे प्रसाद साहब ने 5 साल में बना, करचम को उन्होंने 4 साल में बनाया है. तो है एग्जाम्पल्स हैं. भूटान वाले जल्दी बन जाते हैं, उधर भी लटक गया है एक प्रोजेक्ट, है ना. तो पुनः सांचो वो बनेगा. सो ये बेसिकली क्या हाइड्रो की चैलेंजेस हैं अपने अलग अलग टाइप की. इट्स नॉट जस्ट एनवायरमेंटल रिलेटेड. जियोलॉजी एक बहाना है. सिंह साहब मानेंगे मेरी बात को. जियोलॉजी एक बहाना है. अब सब पता है तुम्हें, फिर तुम क्यों ये बहाने बना रहे हो? काम करो, find ways and means and arrest your system. So basically we should not invent more problems for ourselves. What we have to do in hydro is, what is the real challenge we have to, which is the financial challenge, cost of the project, time dimension, cost overruns, interest during construction. These are all the challenges. We need to be innovative to engineer the financing of hydropower. And I wanted to say this before I go to my panel today, because a lot of things like this we have analyzed, and we understand a 9.5% loan cannot sustain an interest of 9.5% cannot sustain a hydropower project. And what hydro is doing, it is helping remote area. So why it will not get the priority sector lending benefits, which is a 6%. So government policy. I am working on this because we have Mr. Somanathan, who was the finance secretary at the PMO now. He is the cabinet secretary now. So one letter to him will go. आपने जो किया उसी तरह मैं फाइनेंस पे कर रहा हूँ. तो ये लड़ाई है बहुत बड़ी सर. ये क्या है कि इंडस्ट्री भी उतना ही कर पाएगा जितना उनके पास how much they get incentive, or contractors are actually partners. They are not your enemies. So most of the time good contractors have delivered projects, right? अब आप contractors and ये सारे कोर्टों में ही लगे रहें, arbitration भी लड़ते रहें, और ego point पे आ जाता है, और वहाँ जाएंगे वहाँ कई बार mostly PSU only loses, arbitration में, और time इतना निकल जाता है उसमें project का. So I think there must be a mechanism which should be easier so that these arbitrators don't keep making money. वो आपकी तरफ से एडिशनल डेट ले लेगा, गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से डेट लेगा. हर बार वो अपने बच्चों को भी सिखाते हैं, भाई आप इसको लटकाए रखो जिससे कि आपकी दाल रोटी चलती रहे. तो ये बंद. We cannot afford this kind of cost overruns. It is happening in almost every project, and even in the road project it has come in. It is coming in several other projects. ये बीमारी चारों तरफ फैल रही है. It's like a cancer which can kill our industry. So I think it's a joint effort. It can't be, see, the contractor cannot say कि भाई गलती खाली गवर्नमेंट की है. Government cannot say खाली contractor की गलती है. कहीं ना कहीं कोई फोरम हमारे जैसा हो जो बताए भैया प्रैक्टिकली बैठ जाओ, नहीं तो पूरा देश का खाली हो जाएगा खजाना. You have to be very careful, sir. So with this, I request my members of the dais to please light the lamp and declare this discussion open, sir.